I'm Ezelle from the upcoming. Lovely to meet you. Congratulations on this fantastic film. How does it feel to be at Rain Dance, and what does this film festival mean for you?
This festival means quite a lot, really, because I did the rain dance courses about 10 years ago when my children were tiny, and I wanted to kind of branch out into sort of writing and developing projects of films. So I took myself off to night school. Curzon Soho is big because this is a cinema when I used to live in London was a sort of big haunt. This is the first time I've seen the movie, so I've not seen the movie, so I am new. It's really is a premiere for me. But I really enjoyed making it. I really enjoyed working with Brooke and Finn and the whole team who put it together. I loved working with Joe and Richard and this gorgeous cast. So I'm sort of excited to see it felt funny. It had a lot of heart in it, and it sort of exceeded its grasp as a piece of work. And yeah, so I'm excited to see it. But it means quite a lot to be here for Rain Dance in London, Halloween, and the film getting its first airing. Let's see what the audience think about it. I may storm out 20 minutes after and they cut my best bit. I won't do that.
And can you tell us a little bit about your role in the film and how you ended up getting involved in the project in the first place?
Well, I play Willie, Mr. Willie, and Willie is, I guess, we're part of a triumvirate. It's, Caroline's story, and Caroline has these two friends who are Willie and Paul, and Willie lives next door and Paul lives down the road, and they're this sort of unique kind of triumvirate together, facing the corrupt world of competitive vegetable growing. Willie has a deep backstory, which you find out in the film, which he's very ashamed of, but he was a championship grower, but the pressure got to him. And I think, all the way through the film, to me, I was in there's this gorgeous kind of unrequited love story sort of throughout the movie that really kind of got me. But how I got involved in it, last year, I had a phone call via Joe saying, do you want to come to Winchester and do a mockumentary about competitive vegetable growing? And I was available, and I adore Joe and wanted to work with her again. And I read the script, and I spoke to Finn and Brooke, and they said, oh, please read the script. And I think they were keen to get going because it was really kind of, picking up pace. And I just sort of sat down and in one sitting read it, and it moved me. I was moved by it. I was charmed by it. It made me laugh. I'd never done a mockumentary before, so I'd never done that sort of, that level of, and it was going to be heavily improvised, it was as simple as that, My name got thrown into the hat. I spoke to them. I read it. I liked it. They liked me, and here we are, covered in rain. Sorry, the upcoming. I'm covered in rain.
And obviously it's got these British nuances in it, and it's a lot of humour as well. So were there any memorable moments on set that stood out for you?
People who've seen it before I have are going, I love this bit or I love that bit. And because, it was a year ago now, as I'm going, there are moments you forget. But really the memorable thing was really being part of this trio with Joe and with Richard and the sort of how sort of sincere we took the work, how we were there for each other. And I really enjoyed working and playing, and I love that Brooke and Finn allowed this level of improvisation, and that we could take these flights of fantasy. I loved shooting. I loved the endings, really great. I loved doing that. That was sort of heightened, but I also loved the sort of more the moving bits between Caroline and Willie, and then the surprise of it all. The sheer endeavour of it all. Here they are with 2p and a bucket of crisps to make this film, and it's a living and breathing film, and it's like just love, and it was, a real kind of remarkable feat of sort of imagination and ingenuity. So lots of moments, really. It's funny that I can't say I really like this bit because I haven't seen the movie yet, but I just love working with the team. I love working with Aisling B and Faye and Ray, and a really good sort of roll call of good up for it Brits. And Winchester was kind of great to shoot in, and going into the world of these sort of allotments, these little worlds and universes that people have sort of, created and shared. That was really good fun. And I'm intrigued. Will Willie be the sex symbol cinema audiences have been waiting for? Is this my moment? But it was great. And it's a heightened story. It's a kind of a crazy story and a daft story. But the truth of it is only the truth is funny. And I never, from day one was like, we might do idiotic things, but I don't think he's an idiot. I don't think he's silly. You know, I think, you know, he might be called Willie and he might have the, you know, a penchant for the weird and the wonderful, but, you know, just being able to sort of play a sort of truthful performance in a, and maybe this is a film that people want to see now, you know? Did it put a smile on your face? Did it?
I'd already seen Brian and Charles actually, so I kind of started going down that route of finding these quirky British kind of
You're totally
funny
quirked out
things.
there.
Yeah, no. And then I was like, oh god, this is just brilliant. You know, it's another kind of element of that kind of thing that's just so quirky and funny and touches on all the British things that you know kind of grow up with.
Yes.
Entering myself.
No, I quite love it. I think that's wonderful to hear that because, you know, you turn up and you give your best in a film and you commit to it and then you go home. And these guys, you know, I've just seen the directors, Brooke and Finn, and they're like, they've been staring at me for a year, but you know, I've been off making other things and living a life, really. But you know, sort of, but coming back to it, you give a project as much as you can, as much heart, as much humor, hopefully as much pathos, as much truth, and then within that, be as daring as possible and try and push those boundaries. And then you walk away and say, well, it's up to you guys now to put that together the way you want to put it together. So, because it's, you know, it's their film. But I certainly went home feeling like we'd put in a good shift and we'd committed.
It's a real sidestep from things that you've done, obviously, like being Levi Belfield and Manhunt. Oh my God, I loved it. And also, you know, being Dylan Thomas, poet, you know. So is it something you'd want to work on again, get involved in a bit more of the kind of comedy side of things?
I've always sort of flitted between the two. I think only the truth is funny, and I never wanted to be stuck in a comedy world, and I never wanted to be stuck in a drama world. I like to sort of breathe into all those spaces and keep them as truthful and as daring as possible. And you know, I always think you have to find the monster in the man and the man in the monster, and find those levels of character to make them relatable, really. So I'd love to do more comedy. I really enjoyed it. It's how nice to make people laugh. At the same time, they're all characters to me. And when I get to work with a great script and great people and, you know, great directors and the great camera team, and, you know, that's a really rewarding thing wherever it's funny or dramatic. But, you know, it's good to keep those sort of oppositions going. But, yeah, Willie is very different to... but in some ways, he's not as disinhibited as a lot of the characters I've played, because he's quite a sort of, you know, a deep well, you know, like he's smiling and he's cheerful, but deep down he's got this sort of, you know, this heartache, which is quite often I've been playing characters that are the other way around, where they're sort of inside out kind of thing. But no, long may it continue, you know. I like to say I'm typecast, but I mean...
Clearly not.
Clearly not. Maybe I should be typecast.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Enjoy the rest of the evening at the premiere. Thank you very much.
I love the upcoming.
Oh, thank you.
I really love it. I think it's great.
Oh,
These are the critiques.
oh, mostly me.
Yeah, no, it's super great.
Oh, thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Thank you.